Eddie Griffin has been very active on social media lately. On Monday, the comedian would share a video on Instagram letting all of his followers know that he will not be taking any vaccines for COVID-19. The caption he chose, "I would not be a crash test dummy." People in the comments were split. Some showed their support for Griffin, while others sided against him. Since the vaccines have been rolling out, there has been a lot of hesitations with taking the shot, especially with the Black community. Griffin specifically mentioned Johnson & Johnson in his rant and stood strong in his stance against the COVID vaccine. Today we have our company hype analysts, Rita, Brent, and Pierre calling in to talk about Eddie Griffin's comments. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
I don't believe them numbers. India's got the most cases. America's the most vaccinated. Of course America's the most vaccinated. These it's easy to brainwash. All they gotta do is stick it on CNN, MSNBC, and Fox 24/7. Take the COVID shot. Take the COVID shot. Take the COVID shot. Them gonna take that COVID shot. Well, guess what? I ain't taking the COVID shot. Johnson & Johnson is back on the market because we done figured out what the side effects are. Really? How'd you figure that out? Oh, by people dying. That's how you figured it out. You figured out it causes blood clots by mother dying. So you took it off the market. Now you're going to turn around, put it right back on a month later saying, now we know the side effects of blood clots. Don't they let you know these motherfuckers tested this shit? If you'd like to continue to be a crash test dummy, go ahead, shoot your shit, shoot the shit.
Now I want to read two comments that a couple users responded to this video, and then I want to dive into you all's reaction as well. One user said, LOL, COVID causes blood clots too, and we saw the side effects of COVID as well. What was over 600,000 people dead in the US. But hey, who am I to discuss the numbers game? Still love you, Eddie. Another user states, a vaccine created within a year for free that has no liability? No. Rita, I want to come to you first. Do you think Eddie Griffin's concerns are valid after seeing this video?
Yes, I think Eddie Griffin represents a large amount of people who are afraid to get the vaccine for a number of reasons. I've seen some people say that I'm not worried about COVID as a Black person. I'm worried about police brutality. I'm worried about racism more than I am about getting the disease. But on the other side, we know that Black people are more affected by COVID. I think it boils down to two things. That's personal choice and personal peace. And so it is Eddie Griffin's personal choice to not get the vaccine just as it is everybody else's. But some people feel like getting the vaccine is a personal choice because they can travel and now they can hang out with their elderly friends or their parents, as they have stated. So I think what it all boils down to is a personal choice. And I know that's a Republican slant, but a lot of people feel like that, especially Black people.
Right. No, I definitely agree. Pierre, what about do you think Eddie Griffin's concerns are valid?
You know, if you want to take it, you take it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, it's your life. You know, what can I say? It's your life. You do what you want with it. And you know, if he feels that it's been too quickly made, and you know, there's not enough results or not enough tests, then he has a right to feel that way. And if he don't want to take it, he doesn't want to take it. You know, other folks feel like it is. You know, it's something that's going to protect them.
Absolutely. And I want to read one of the points that Griffin made in this. So, as you know, he did mention Johnson & Johnson, you know, that strain gives blood clots. But he said, you know, how can we trust Johnson & Johnson when they couldn't even make a baby powder without giving people diseases? So I think it's, you know, just looking at the history. Rita, I see you smiling. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, that is a legitimate concern once again, because if you read the statistics, Johnson & Johnson is in the 60th percentile of effectiveness, while Pfizer is about 90% effective. But then it goes to effectiveness for the amount of months. So we have 6 months of protection that may lead to a year, but then you could still get COVID if you get the vaccine. So you can understand why there are so many narratives and so many different sources of information, why people may be confused. But at the end of the day, I think you should do what brings you peace. And I think it's a combination of things. It's the vaccine, it's the way you eat, it's your exercise. I don't think it's just one thing that can save us. But I am not in the business of shaming people for getting it or pressuring people to get it, because folks need to be at peace.
I agree. And I feel like we've seen a lot of that too, like people just kind of going back and forth against one another. Pierre, what are your thoughts, you know, about that? You know, seeing people like, hey, you know, just kind of fighting over it.
Yeah, that I don't understand. I mean, if you choose not to take it, why are you mad at someone else for taking it? I mean, just, you know, it's your life. You do it. I wouldn't tell you how to spend your money or where to live and, what to do. So I wouldn't want someone to tell me that same thing. If I want to take it or I don't want to take it, let me have me. I'm letting you do you. But, we always have a lot of infighting amongst ourselves. That's been from day one, it seems like. So I say, let somebody do what they want to do. If they feel that, it's their life. It's their life. Why not? Don't call, for them to call people names for taking it or, like you said, shaming them is absolutely ridiculous. Or if you don't want to take it, why shame somebody for it? So, that's my stance. If you want to take it, you take it. You don't, you don't.
It's a lot of conspiracy theories too, Pierre. Like they're about vaccines, maybe taking your magic or doing this. I don't know. I just miss the days when we had legitimate sources of information, because the information is so conflicting now that people don't know what to believe. And now we have mass hysteria. But
even today, people trip out. I took a flu shot. I say flu shot. I took a flu shot some years ago, and people clown me taking a flu shot. And flu shots been around, but people still feel insecure about a flu shot. I took one 5 years ago. It worked. We worked. I haven't had a flu. So I don't know if it worked or didn't work. Maybe I wasn't in the area to catch a flu. But nothing is perfect. The foods we eat aren't all healthy. Preservatives. But we still do those things. So I think because it's new. This shot is new, and everybody is nervous and uptight about it. Not sure. Not everyone, but some people are. So.
And I think it seems that it primarily happens in the Black community. When the flu shot did come out, anytime that we see these vaccines come out, the Black community always has this hesitation. Rita, I'll come to you first. Why do you think we see this, that trend over and over, where Black people are just like, hey, I don't even want to do it?
Oh, well, one key word is malpractice. If you think about the history of medicine, let's take women in Mississippi. Let's take Fannie Lou Hamer, for instance, who was sterilized without her knowledge and given a hysterectomy without her knowledge in Mississippi and was not able to have children. And so when you think about the experimentation that has happened on Black bodies, of course, the syphilis experiment comes to a lot of people's minds. We have every right to be cautious. We have every right to question, well, what is this doing to our bodies? Is it going to have a long-term effect? So just America's history with the abuse of Black people's body, that's why a lot of us are unsure.
But this shot is open to everyone. So
that's right.
I mean, it ain't the Tuskegee experiment where they just doing it on black men. This shot is open for whites, Asians, Indians, whatever you want to call it, Blacks, to take it. So I think it's a difference. I mean, who wants to kill everybody? Is there somebody out there that wants to kill everybody? And if you kill everybody, what's left with, if you're the only person here and you're a millionaire, quadrillionaire, who gonna take that trash out? Who gonna wash that dishes? Who gonna clean that house for you? If you kill everybody off, then what's the purpose of that? I don't know.
And Symphony, I mean, people in my family have gotten the vaccine and they are fine. I'm trying to do my due diligence. I'm speaking with pharmacists, nurses, doctors. I'm reading. I think that it's best just to get educated, and then you make an educated decision based on what's best for you.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great way to wrap things up. It's what's best for you. It's not, you can't make a decision for someone else or try to persuade someone else what to do. You have to do what's best for you in these times. So I appreciate you all for calling in and giving your thoughts on this. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts after seeing Eddie Griffin make a stance on the COVID vaccine? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
You a fan of the Comedy Hype News Show? Take a piece of us home with you by purchasing your own mug from each of our correspondents. Available now at comedyhype.com/shop.